Just ahead, a potential game changer coming to Boone County. Details on a major sports facility on its way to a high-profile location in Lebanon and what it could mean for future growth. Also ahead, the world's first driverless car competition is about to take the green flag at the Yard of Bricks. More on the INDY Autonomous Challenge and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway's historic role in driving automotive innovation. Plus,
I'm Mary Rachel Redmond at the Indianapolis International Airport. Whether you're traveling for leisure or for business, your options just got a whole lot better this week. More on Contour Airlines coming up.
Details on those stories and a look at cybersecurity in Indiana. It's all ahead on this edition of Inside Indiana Business. Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick. Lebanon is taking a big shot at winning a chunk of the nation's $45 billion travel sports tourism industry. This week, the city announced one of the largest economic development projects in its nearly 190-year history. Developers are planning to transform a high-profile location on 95 acres at I-65 and State Road 39 into a multi-sport field house. The $115 million project also includes apartments, townhomes, and cottages. Construction could start soon in the first half of next year. It is viewed as a potential game changer for Lebanon, and if it does what Grand Park has done for the city of Westfield and Hamilton County, it could pay off in a big way. For more on what the project means for potential growth and economic development, I'm pleased to be joined by Lebanon Mayor Matt Gentry and a man who's no stranger to developing athletic facilities like this one, Card Associates President and CEO Andy Card. Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having us, Gary.
You bet. Mayor, this is a big project, $100 million plus, high-profile location, the old Holidome site, I-65 and State Road 39. How big is this project in terms of, Lebanon's future potential growth?
For us, it's a giant leap. I think we've done a great job over the last few years attracting a lot of commercial companies, but this is kind of our first foray in kind of the more tourism sector, youth sports. And of course, with that will come the restaurants, retail, and we're very excited about that.
I think it's interesting. People know Lebanon along the I-65 corridor there for distribution and logistics, obviously. But you mentioned that youth sports now, but we've seen big investment from companies like Monosol in the life sciences sector, Ken's Foods in the food category. The diversity play is kind of coming into focus in Lebanon.
Yeah, exactly. We've been trying to diversify our tax base here, essentially, and we're trying to diversify, the sectors we serve in our community. And so, obviously, hitting the food manufacturing has been good for us. Logistics has always been that base, but we are trying to try new things, and we're very excited to have a new partnership with Card to try youth sports now.
All right, Andy, we're seeing some renderings of the project, major project. Give us the hits, runs, and errors, if you will, on what this project is all about.
It's a 200. It's about nearly 100-acre development, Gary. It's going to be anchored by a 270,000 square foot sports facility, like you mentioned before, 8 indoor courts, 2 full football fields, baseball, softball, volleyball, all the sports amenities will be inside, as addition to 20 square foot of tenant space, which is like businesses where their customer base is walking through our front door. This facility will move about 60,000 people on average a month through the front door. And we also, what'll be different on this project versus some of our others, we're going to have a championship court that will be able to seat in the 2,000 to 2,500 people. So we'll have a championship court for major events.
You are no stranger to development of these facilities, and this is a big one, but you're certainly involved in owning and operating the Pacers Athletic Center in Westfield at Grand Park. You've got developments in Noblesville, Pendleton. What do you look for? What made Lebanon attractive for this investment?
Well, I'll tell you, it starts with the city leadership at the top. Mayor Gentry and I have been talking for nearly 3 years now. And all through the process, Mayor Gentry and his staff have been extremely supportive. And probably the biggest thing, along with that support, is the fact that this specific site where the old Holidome was is right off I-65 and has great infrastructure and interstate access, which is it's paramount to our facilities due to the number of people that we're moving in and out of this.
Yeah, big growth area in Lebanon. And I got to ask you, where's the saturation point? We've seen all these developments throughout central Indiana, not to mention other parts of the state. When is it going to be enough in terms of youth sports and tourism?
Well, we're nearly there. This facility announcement certainly helps close the circle. We will be announcing another major facility in the northern end of Indianapolis here shortly, and then another facility on the south side of Indianapolis, and I think that'll about do it for Indiana.
Okay.
So we begin to move across the country.
Very good. Mayor, I've got to ask you, with all of this news, this most latest big announcement, Steve Finke has another big residential project going on in your community as well. I mentioned the life sciences, distribution, logistics, the food service sectors. Seems to be a lot of things coming together now. Do you view this as somewhat of a defining moment for Lebanon and what the future in that community will be like?
Yeah, I think this is a turning point for us. We've been essentially spending the last 5-6 years preparing for growth. We've seen what's happening in Boone County. We're the fastest growing county, second fastest growing county in Indiana. And so we've been trying to prepare for this, get ready for this. And, of course, this announcement is just going to add fuel to that fire.
Big news in Lebanon, a $100+ million development, a project, the latest in a series of projects happening in that Boone County community. Mayor Matt Gentry, also Andy Card, the CEO of Card Associates. Appreciate you taking the time. We look forward to following the project.
Thanks for having us.
Gary.